Welcome to the fucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world around you. Thailand's constitutional court ordered the dissolution of the Move Forward political party and banned its 11 executives from working in politics for 10 years. A U.S. court has ordered failed crypto exchange FTX to pay $12.7 billion back to its former customers. 10 IDF soldiers have been arrested in connection with the alleged sexual abuse of prisoners caught on tape. A container ship fucking exploded at Ningbo port in China. Luckily, it was evacuated in time and there have been no deaths or injuries reported. And a plane went down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, killing all 61 passengers. And they don't know how or why this happened, but it looks like it just fell out of the fucking sky. It's terrifying. Follow me if you give a shit.
它的名字叫复制龙宝宝。
这什么这是？
恐龙，小恐龙，复制龙。
哦。
对。
Come on, boy. Come on. Good boy.
Ah, j'ai de la chance.
Pterodactyls. This time I got Katie with me as a witness. Katie, wave at TikTok land. Tell them where the show. Tell them what are those.
Pterodactyl.
Told you. She knows her animals. She's a farmer.
Do you hear about Sora?
Sora, nah.
Sora AI.
Sora AI?
Damn, the whole movie industry is about to die. Like, it's literally gonna die. Because what's happening is Sora AI is in beta right now.
Okay.
And it's releasing in August. Sora AI, fam, I'll show you a video. Maybe I'll show you two right now.
Yeah.
It's all you have to do is type in what you want in the shot, and AI will make it so realistic that it just looks like you shot it with a film camera. It's insane.
Like full videos, not just like screenshots?
Full video.
Oh, we're
full
cooked.
fucking video.
Yeah.
And you can do little changes to it. Like, I'm gonna show you, bro. It's insane.
Wait, I think I've seen some shit like that on TikTok. Is it grainy? Hold on, let me.
No, it's not even grainy. Look, so I saw this pop up. It's Google's AI. They did a video with Childish Gambino.
Okay.
But look. Tracking a shot of a 1960s convertible driving up to a Spanish Mediterranean. So you just type in what you want.
Yeah, very specific.
And look what happens. Look how real this shit looks.
Whoa.
Keep watching. That's all AI, bro. This is all AI. Look, watch. The people When they put faces and stuff.
Okay, let me
it's
see
insane.
the faces.
So, using Gemini's multimodal capabilities to optimize the model training process.
Tracking shot of a pair of cowboy boots.
Look at this, look at this. You just type it in.
Oh shit.
You can do anything you want possible. No cost.
No cost.
Look at the face.
Nah.
That's AI. That's AI. And then what they're doing now too, yo, you can literally scan somebody's face now and then make that person
Into the actor.
into the AI, into the actor, and you can just make content. Fam, if we really want it, this whole conversation, oh, by the way, this is AI. Yo, is that
would be
fucked though?
fucked, yeah.
Isn't
But that
fucked?
doesn't mean the movie industry's cooked. That means everything's
No,
low-key cooked.
the movie industry is cooked because it's.
Hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem. But don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done. Now that you've identified the hypotenuse, can you identify which side is the opposite side to angle alpha?
Okay, well, I mean, you told me earlier that this was the adjacent side, and I know that's the hypotenuse, so I'm guessing that this side, BC, is the opposite side.
That's absolutely correct. Now that you've identified all the sides relative to angle alpha, do you remember the formula for finding the sine of an angle in a right triangle?
Yeah, I know that the sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse.
Perfect. That's absolutely right. Now, can you apply that formula to find sine alpha in the triangle using the lengths of the sides that we've identified?
Okay, so, I mean, you told me that 7, this side BC, is the opposite side. And then you said that the hypotenuse is the longest side, so that would be this side AB, which is 25. So would the answer be 7 over 25?
Excellent work. That's correct. Sine alpha equals 7 over 25. You did a great job identifying the sides and using the sine formula. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
I'm sorry, but what they're doing in South Korea is insane and you have no idea what's going on. So yeah, if you don't know anything about this and you don't know what's about to happen, you are going to want to watch this video, trust me. So when you look at this, you probably think, oh, it's the backrooms or, I don't know, inside of a theme park ride or something like that. Well, actually, no, because this is an artificial sun that South Korea are making. There's lots of countries around the world now that are actually starting to make artificial suns. Why? I don't know. But this one, some pretty scary stuff has gone on in here, and just you wait. Basically, what they're trying to do in here is nuclear fusion. It reached a new record of holding it at 180 million degrees for 48 seconds. Probably wondering what nuclear fusion is, why do they want to do it, and I mean, well, that's it, just read. The benefits of it, this is basically the list of why people want to achieve nuclear fusion. Which, I mean, kind of goes hand in hand with old 2030 project, doesn't it, if you know what I mean. Now, saying by 2025 they want to be able to hold it at 300 million degrees for over a minute. I mean, soon, who knows what will be possible. But please, this is in South Korea, do not let this guy get his hands on it, or we'll probably be putting people inside the damn thing. Hit that follow button, I'll keep you updated.
Go for it.
Okay, that device you see plugged into the iPhone, that's my video transmitter. Now this is my video repeater. Basically, it takes any video signal coming out of the iPhone and it boosts it, enhances it. And I can take over any other video signal that I want that I put this close to. So what we're filming on the iPhone right now, I'm gonna put on one of these screens. I'm gonna give you a demonstration how this works.
So are you in a relationship? No. When the last time you were in a relationship?
Actually, I am in a relationship.
So you're lying?
Nah, I just have to think about it.
So you are in a relationship. How long you been together?
It's complicated. We've been on and off for like 10 to 15 years maybe, but got really serious the past few months.
So is this a woman that you think that...
It's not a woman.
It's not a woman?
Nah.
It's a man?
Yeah.
So you're gay?
No.
So you're in a relationship with a man, but you're not gay?
Yeah, this man isn't on earth right now, though. It's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, brother.
Okay, okay, let's get into that. So you're in a relationship with the Lord?
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, I thought he was going somewhere else with that, but, you know, he brought me back to reality. That's okay. Okay, so you're a Christian?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Lord of Christ.
Okay, so you plan on getting married one day?
If that's what God has in store for me, we'll see.
Okay, that's good.
I got a couple personal questions for you. You don't have to be honest with me, but at least be honest with yourself. How many lies have you told in your life?
A lot.
You're stolen some.
Yes.
You're looked at a woman with lust.
Yes.
Jesus says that if you look at a woman with lust, you commit adultery with her in your heart. And the last one, have you ever had hate towards someone?
Yes.
Jesus also says that if you have hate towards someone, you commit murder with them in your heart. So you just admitted to 4 out of the 10 commandments, God's moral law, his standard. So if you were to die right now, just based off of those 10, if you were to judge you by those 10, would you be innocent or guilty?
I'm guilty.
Heaven or hell?
Hell.
Does that concern you?
Yeah.
It should, man.
Yeah.
The Bible describes it as an eternal lake of fire. Never-ending weeping and gnashing of teeth. It is the worst place. Worse than anything you can experience on this earth. Just like heaven is better than anything we can experience on this earth. And then you've heard the story about Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
So just like in the court of law, the Bible says that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We have all sinned against him, and the wages of sin is death. Just like in the court of law, someone that does not break the law can bail you out. So that's what Jesus did 2,000 years ago. He lived a perfect sinless life, came on this world, gave up his life, paid our fine to bail us out, and for us to receive that gift of salvation, we have to confess our sins to him himself, repent of our ways, not just ask for forgiveness, go out the next day and do it again, repent from them, turn them, be born again, and walk a new life, putting our faith and trust in him the rest of our days on this earth. And it sounds like something crazy, like a big change. It is a big change in your life, but when you take a step back to look at eternity in a whole, which is not a whole because it doesn't end, you know what I mean? When you realize how serious it is, how precious your soul is, you don't want the other end of that, which would be hell, an eternal lake of fire.
Right, you're right.
And so, man, like your soul is precious, and anyone that's watching this, your soul is so precious. It's so important. There's nothing you can do more important than find our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is the only one that can save you. He's the only one that died and rose again 3 days later. He's the only one that claimed to be, not the only one that claimed to be God, but the only one that proved his claim by dying and resurrecting 3 days later. put your faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, repent of your ways, and walk the rest of your life with him. And you too, man, I encourage you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man.
Man.
You caught me off guard, but you speaking the truth, man. Hey.
You work 8 hours to live 4. You work 6 days to enjoy 1. You work all year just to take a week or 2 vacation. You work all your life to retire in old age and contemplate only your last breaths. Eventually, you realize that life is nothing but a parody of yourself, practicing your own oblivion. We have become so accustomed to material and social slavery that we no longer see the chains. Life is a short journey. Live it.
What is this? Please, somebody, I need one. I don't know what's going on right now. Wow. Look at the feet. Watch the feet again when it comes back. What? That is a bat mixed with a monkey, bro. That is a bat, monkey, friggin' rat, all in one, bro. Some of y'all might think that this is cute, but I think that this is terrifying, bro. Terrifying. There's no answer to this, bro. That scientists are just, they're out of pocket right now, bro. You scientists out there is out of pocket for this. Y'all created a monkey mixed with a rat. He could barely move or walk, bro. He's over here eating the fruit. He could barely eat. Y'all, like, look at his ears. But, like, what is he supposed to do? Like, how is he supposed to live, bro? I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. A lot of y'all might think that this little animal here is cute. But it's a shame what they doing, bro. Doing this stuff in labs. They making food in labs for us to eat. That's out of pocket as well, bro. Like, we might be eating this little fella right here and we don't even know. Y'all need to pay attention, man. Put in the comments, hit the like button. Make sure y'all follow me here for more. This video doesn't even explain what this animal is. I'm trying to figure it out. A bat mixed with a rat and a monkey all in one, bro. A little vampire, too. Look at the little vampire claws. He's a vampire. He got vampire werewolf claws, bro. In 2 different movies, they got the same looking claws and feet. Like, yo, this is crazy, bro. We out here, man. Salute.
No, no, no. No, not that way. That way. No. Oh, damn it.
I never dreamed that I would have to face the prospect of not living in the United States of America, at least not the one I've known all my life. I've never wished to live anywhere else. This is my home, and I was privileged to be born here. But today I woke up, and as I had my morning coffee, I realized that everything is about to change. No matter how I vote, no matter what, I say something evil has invaded our nation, and our lives are never going to be the same. I've been confused by the hostility of family and friends. I look at people I've known all my life, so hate-filled that they agree with opinions they would never express as their own. I think I may have, entered the Twilight Zone. We become a nation that has lost its collective mind. You can't justify this insanity. If a guy pretends to be a woman, you're required to pretend with him. Somehow, it's un-American for the census to count how many Americans are in America. Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegals voting in our elections are good. It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it. 20 is too young to drink a beer, but 18 is old enough to vote. People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees. Immigrants with tuberculosis and polio are welcome, but you'd better be able to prove your dog is vaccinated. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a rigorous vetting process, but any illiterate gangbangers who jump the southern fence are welcome. $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free healthcare is not. If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison, but if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. People who say there is no such thing as gender are demanding a female president. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan to us. Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now. Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights. And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racist. Nothing makes sense anymore. No values, no morals, and no civility. People are dying of a Chinese virus, but it's racist to refer to it as Chinese even though it began in China. We're clearly living in an upside-down world where right is wrong and wrong is right, where moral is immoral and immoral is moral, where good is evil and evil is good, where killing murderers is wrong but killing unborn babies is A-okay. Wake up, America. The great unsinkable ship, Titanic America, has hit an iceberg, is taking on water, and is sinking fast. Speak up.
Tonight, imagine getting rid of all of the bad and only remembering the good. Zapping your brain sounds like something out of science fiction movie.
But it could potentially help people. CBS 2 shows you how scientists are one step closer to actually erasing memories.
We call it the neuralizer. Keep it simple, Slade. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Agent K.
It's simple. In the movie Men in Black, memories evaporate instantly.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
That's Hollywood. But now scientists have made groundbreaking inroads that they say make erasing bad memories more of a possibility than ever before.
I think that would be awesome.
That will be great.
So the animal is walking around in this particular place.
At the University of California, Davis, Dr. Brian Wilchin has already proven it in studies with mice.
What we do here is deliver the laser stimulation.
Using pulses of laser light, he was able to get rid of select bad memories.
We were able to turn off a specific memory in mice.
This is a really big deal.
Mount Sinai neuroscientist Dr. Paula Coxon says it could potentially have many other applications, from easing traumatic memories of child abuse to healing the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder.
It might be actually possible to take out some of the aspects of the memory that are the most unpleasant by having the person be able to recall the memory but not experience the emotion and the fear associated with it.
And she says the research could ultimately lead to innovative treatments for cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's.
We might be able to reactivate those memories and maybe find a new way for those patients to access the locked-in memories and get some of their memory function back.
And scientists emphasize all of these studies so far have been done on mice, and it could be years before we know whether the same results would actually apply to humans.
For years on September 23rd, conspiracies that the world is coming to an end have flooded the internet. These theories are sparked by the overwhelming appearance of the numbers 9, 2, and 3 appearing in numerous television shows and movies. I'm just going to go through this list. Third rock from the sun. There was a meteor that was scheduled to hit the planet in 2015.
And yet everyone on the planet gets all worked up about these pointless little behaviors, blissfully unaware of the great vaporizing meteor due in 2015.
The Big Bang Theory and asteroid strikes September 23rd. The volcano movie 239 in the license plate Seeking a friend at the end of the world, an asteroid strikes on September 22nd, 23rd, and ends the world. The movie Deep Impact, starring Morgan Freeman. The asteroid would strike on 9/22. Evan Almighty, he said the date of the flood is September 22nd.
Until September 22nd, midday. And if the arc isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday?
The movie Knowing, the date of September 22nd and 23rd, the Earth is destroyed by a solar flare. Little Shop of Horrors, you had this September 23rd event that humans will encounter a deadly threat. The movie Tomorrowland, disaster strikes on September 23rd. In NCIS, The Last Man Standing was the episode Do They Know 23? No. You know, that signal there. In Jim Carrey's movie 23, he mentions the date September 23rd as the day that hell arrives. In the TV show Sleepy Hollow, September 23rd, a new dimension is opened. Hello?
Maybe September 23rd? September 23rd, 1780.
Evil is released on September 23rd in the movie Ghostbusters. This Is the End with Seth Rogen. September 23rd is the date that the rapture happens. In the movie Pandemic, the East Coast is hit with this pandemic on September 23rd. In the movie Labyrinth, evil consumes the world on September 23rd.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
TV show Lost. The plane crashes on a remote island on September 22nd.
When did you come here? How long ago? 60, 65 days.
What was the date? What was the date?
September 22nd. It was September 22nd.
Movie Castaway starring Tom Hanks. The driver's license of the dead pilot says 9/23. You have a Taco Bell commercial escaping a concentration camp on 9/23. Guinness beer commercial. If you keep an open mind, you'll discover dark secrets. And the stopwatch stops on 9/23. Okay, you can't make this up. It's just everywhere. Black Eyed Peas video, the calendar of the month. It goes all the way up to like September 22nd, and then it just stops. So there's the, it's all X'd out on the 23rd moving forward. Asteroid City, there was this asteroid that is going to hit on September 23rd.
Each year we celebrate Asteroid Day, commemorating September 23rd, 3007 BC, when the arid plains meteorite made Earth impact.
The video game Fallout 4, they mentioned 9/23.
S923, recall code Cirrus.
Don't Worry, Darling. That psychological thriller about a fake world, whatever. I mean, I don't want to give away the plot, though, but it premiered on 9/23. And in the movie Split, 9/23. So you have like this alter ego, alter dimension, world dimensions. We're opening up portals. There's something is going to change, right? That's the implication, is something will change on September 23rd.
Ariane Till verifies what we know about the particle experiment.
The hidden dimensions found in particle accelerators. Physicists at CERN have made an extraordinary discovery within the superproton synchrotron, capturing what they describe as a 4D ghost in the machine's vast network of tunnels. This ghost is not a specter in the traditional sense, but rather an elusive, invisible structure that has the power to alter the paths of speeding particles. Researchers have painstakingly measured and detailed this structure, which exists in a complex realm known as phase space. Phase space allows scientists to visualize different states of motion, and this particular structure requires 4 such states to be fully represented, hence its description as 4-dimensional. This intriguing finding is the result of a phenomenon known as resonance, which happens when multiple systems vibrate or move in synchrony. Understanding and measuring this 4-dimensional structure marks a significant advance in the field of particle physics. It helps scientists get closer to solving a persistent challenge that affects all magnetic particle accelerators, particles straying off their intended paths. Physicist Giuliano Franchetti from the GSI in Germany explains the problem. Particles often don't follow the path we plan for them. They deviate, get lost, and this leads to what we call beam degradation. This degradation makes it tough for scientists to maintain the specific conditions they need for their experiments. Resonance, the underlying cause of this issue, is a syncing of oscillations. similar to how planets affect each other's orbits through gravity, or how a tuning fork will start to vibrate in response to the sound waves from another fork. By understanding this four-dimensional ghost, scientists can better predict and control these deviations, paving the way for more precise and successful experiments in the world of particle physics. Particle accelerators, like the ones at CERN, use incredibly strong magnets to create electromagnetic fields. These fields are crucial because they guide and push particles along a set path at high speeds, aimed at precise targets for experiments. However, these magnets aren't perfect. Sometimes, small flaws in the magnets can cause what scientists call resonance. This resonance creates unwanted magnetic patterns that interact with the particles. These interactions can nudge the particles off their intended paths, causing issues in the experiments. Normally, the movement of particles in these machines is described in simple terms, just two coordinates on a flat surface, up and down or left and right. But the real situation is much more complicated. Scientists need to use four coordinates to accurately describe what's happening inside an accelerator. This allows them to map not just the flat two-dimensional paths, but also additional dimensions that take into account the deeper complexities of particle movement. Mapping these four coordinates is a challenge because it stretches beyond our usual ways of thinking about space and movement, making it a tough concept to grasp. Physicist Giuliano Franchetti explains that to truly understand the resonance in particle accelerators, it's necessary to consider not just one plane of movement, but both horizontal and vertical directions. This approach might seem simple in theory, but changing how one normally thinks about these problems can be quite challenging. It took years of persistent work and complex computer simulations for scientists to start to understand the impact of resonance on particle beams. These efforts eventually enabled Franchetti and his colleagues, including Hans Bartok and Frank Schmidt from CERN, to use special devices called beam position monitors to detect and analyze the magnetic anomalies affecting the accelerator. By examining around 3,000 beams, they meticulously recorded whether the particles were drifting off to
viral video. It's all part of a mystery centered around Sedona, Arizona.
This is a YouTube video posted by someone calling himself Funky Fathead.
You can see a much more stable fracture.
He says he's using a computerized tone generator to open a vortex, a portal in time and space.
I happen to where he is. He sounds American, so has it against the United States.
The video caught the attention of this man who posts videos from his home in England. He calls himself Hidden Underbelly.
He went on to experiment with portals on sound frequencies.
Hidden Underbelly spoke to us via Facebook messaging after this video racked up more than 1 million views.
That in itself is pretty insane.
After he was unable to reach Funky Fathead, the video made news in the Daily Star, headlined, "Bloke Missing After Opening Portal of Time and Space in His Bedroom."
If you have those in the portal, God knows where he is. More to the fact, God knows if he can get back.
You see, Funky Fathead hasn't been seen or heard from in 4 months. He did leave one clue, however.
If you don't know where that is, I do. Is it Sedona?
Sedona is known for having one of the great portal spots in that. We're trying to go find these portals.
But is there enough energy here for Funky Fathead to poke a hole into the known universe and travel there through a portal?
Yes, that's what vortex energy can do. Gateways, doorways, openings, portals.
We didn't see Funky Fathead here, so we guess he's still missing. We even asked our editor, Kelly Laws, to see if he could make a similar photo, and here's what he came up with. So we reached out to Funky Fathead via YouTube for comment on his wildly successful video. We've not heard from him yet.
Funky Fathead is a YouTuber that was experimenting with portals by using frequencies. Now, this clip that I'm going to show you is from his channel, and this is his first experiment where he was using 432 hertz frequencies to open up a portal.
There's the fracture. Other videos that show this thing opening up. I'll go into it later.
You saw in the last clip, he was working on the frequencies at 528 hertz, and he was getting a fracture in space and time. So what he decided to do was to get the fracture open at 528 and then quickly reduce it to 525 hertz. And this led to an opening to a place called Sedona. Now here's this clip.
Fluctuation there. Here we go. If you don't know where that is, I do. Is in Sedona, and it is a well-known vortex phenomenon. There's several of them there, and you are witnessing a gate, portal, wormhole, Stargate, whatever you want to call it, from this bedroom to another state, using a mixture of two solid tones.
And now it's 4 months later since he's opened that portal, and not a peep from him. I have written to him several times and heard nothing back. And to me, something's bizarre, because if I was experimenting with something like this, I know that if I didn't have my family, I would be tempted to stick my hand through, stick my arm through, stick my leg through, then stick my whole body through. And I'm wondering if Funky Fathead did that. So, wherever you are, brother,
I can't fathom.
Light can't really get through. You're not going to feel anything, you're not going to smell anything until the surface is literally breached. The locale on that side will equalize with the locale on this side, and then you're good to go. You can kind of see like a glow happening, but again, you're not going to get anything more than that until you touch it. And once you do touch it and the surface is breached, this portal becomes self-sustained for like 2 hours. Are you going to go through it? Taking samples of this water. Unbelievable. It's so warm and fresh here. It's like, it's almost like it's just untainted. You can't see it because the clouds are covering it, but there are two suns right off there. One, and there's a lesser sun like right there. Feels like home. I think it's still Earth. It's just, it's Earth in a different time, maybe. There it is. Two suns. Crazy. Beautiful.
Here we are at the transcending satanic monument in front of the Scientology building in Detroit. Here's an aerial view of it. You can see the sacred geometry, which is meant to work as a sort of sigil to condense energy. And this is a portal.
Bro, look, I mean, to the extent of what it's even saying.
Okay.
Like even just the names. Entry stones, but look right here. We can bring birth. We can bring to birth a new world.
And right here, the transporters.
Yeah.
It looks like there's souls trapped inside these rocks. Oh, my feet are burning just standing in this circle right here. You guys, this is no joke. I'm not even kidding right now. This place is dark. Are your feet burning?
Yeah, but it's like 91 degrees out.
This is a representation of hell and the souls that are being trapped by this demonic culture that we're living in, you know? Like the culture that we live in hides this symbology, hides these demonic rituals and practices and symbols all around our states and countries, and this is just dark.
I'm gonna stand in the middle with my shoes off.
I don't know if I'd do it.
Whoa. I was wondering if
Oh,
I could
what's the conclusion? Is it satanic? Actually, I think it's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
And I like the nice things that it says.
Hands right there, as you said that, like, it's just a little weird.
Oh wait, you are right. It looks like a baby right there. I changed my mind. I go back. It is actually dark. Look at the chains. Why are you putting babies in chains?
What is this? We want more schoolhouses and less jails. Oh, fuck, that's back to beautiful. Damn it. Are you evil or not? So why are you putting babies in chains and just answers it?
Solidarity across borders. Yeah, but what borders? See, they could be talking about dimensional borders.
Ooh, true. Yep. Honestly, that's legit.
Yeah, that one's legit. Oh, what's this one say? Oh, human rights. Okay, I guess that one makes sense now in context. Health and safety protection. These are like affirmations within a circle. Still witchcraft, even if it's good witchcraft.
I just don't believe it's
guaranteed
pensions. It's just like some union carpenter dude. It's like, I learned witchcraft. He's like, I'm into this right now. health insurance. That's his spouse. Job security. This is crazy.
Look at this weird pagan symbol that's just in front of this building right here. Just before we end this. Look at this guy. It's like a guy holding a family in his hands with a celestial object in his other hand.
And then we're in a triangle with the Scientology building.
Yeah,
you really think about it. Like that's the real dark magic over there. All the windows are blacked out. That's nuts. Doof.
Oh yeah, that's just insane. Nope.
NASA recently discovered something called X-points around Earth. These are naturally occurring portals that open and close every single day. The Themis satellite system discovered these portals a few years back. Some of them create direct pathways to the sun and even to other planets. It says we must stand in defense until we can open the gate. Well, what gate are they talking about? I believe they're talking about the Stargate. When you go to CERN, right outside the front door is this gigantic picture of this Indian god that is standing inside of a portal, walking through. So I think they kind of knew what they were going to be doing when they started this whole building and started this whole project, but they just kind of kept it low-key to the general public, and they only released tidbits of information as to what's going on. CERN is the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. It's the largest machine in the world, located in Switzerland, and it uses this gigantic track with this underground tube that's connected, and they send atoms in opposite directions and speed them up to a percentage of the speed of light and then let them collide. And then they analyze the collision to see what comes out of this collision between atoms, quarks and muons and everything else that they discover. But something else they discover in the process is that they create microscopic black holes. So originally, a lot of people were getting scared about this because they were like, man, if you guys create a black hole here on Earth, will it suck the Earth in? I mean, kind of fair to assume, like, black holes are supposed to be pretty deadly things. Even light can't escape them. So why create one here on Earth?
Okay, folks, I've been to CERN. CERN is very, very weird. I was actually there a couple of years ago when Russ Dizdar was still alive, well before COVID. So we're there at CERN, and we're being taken by a docent who's like basically just parroting what he's been told to say. So we're in this place where the statue of Shiva is the Indian god of death, basically the destroyer. And I look at the docent and I go, what's this doing here? He has no answer for it at all. Basically, here's the bottom line, and this is something that we need to really delve into here. CERN is built on the site of the ancient temple of Apollyon. Tom Horn, who passed away last year, very untimely, wrote about this. So CERN is at this ancient temple. They're going to open up and start using CERN and testing it the day of the eclipse. I mean, what are we looking at here? Is that deliberate? In my opinion, it's absolutely deliberate. Something is going on. Here's what I think is going on. The powers that be, are opening up CERN in coordination with the eclipse to open up a gateway, a portal. And that's what I think these sites really are all about. Now, when you go to the Serpent Mound in Ohio, that doesn't look anything like CERN, but it's ancient. And it's just in Ohio. And it's the longest serpent effigy on the planet. Now, some people will dispute that, that's fine. But it's the one that I go to. And that Serpent Mound the serpent is undulating, and the serpent's mouth is open like this. Guess what? The whole thing is built on the solstices, the equinoxes. They're big into this. And these sites are charged. The site at CERN is charged. The Serpent Mound in Ohio is a charged site. If you want to know more, check out our On the Trail of a Nephilim series, number 3, Secrets of the Supernatural. Thanks so much for watching. I am L.A. Marzulli.
Physicists believe that when time began, at the moment of the Big Bang, matter and antimatter were created in equal amounts. And based on recent measurements made at CERN laboratory in Switzerland, it seems there is perfect symmetry between the two, which they say implies that our universe should not exist. What? Can you explain, first of all, what antimatter is and how is it different from the matter that we interact with every day?
Well, the antimatter is the mirror image of ordinary matter. It's extremely rare. If I had some in my hand, it looked like ordinary matter, has the same chemical properties, except if I touch it, it would explode and destroy all of New York City, parts of Connecticut and New Jersey. Every Star Trek fan knows that this is the greatest energy source in the universe, matter-antimatter collision. Instead of the Big Bang, there should have been equal quantities of matter-antimatter, which annihilated, driving the Big Bang. So, by rights, we shouldn't be here.
Right.
Because we have more matter than antimatter in our sector of the galaxy. We've looked for anti-galaxies. We've looked for anti-planets. We don't see any. Physicists say by rights we shouldn't exist. This means that at the instant of the Big Bang, there was a slight overabundance of matter over antimatter, and here we are as a consequence. Now, why? This is one of the greatest mysteries in all of physics. We are clueless to understand why. And like I said, if you want to win a Nobel Prize, figure this one out. Why was it there's a slight overabundance of matter over antimatter?
Yeah, all right. Well, tell us more about these experiments that CERN is doing to answer, or at least try to answer, these questions.
Well, they take an atom smasher and they take the energy out of it and put it into a bottle. It's called a magnetic bottle. You can actually trap anti-hydrogen, anti-electrons going around anti-protons. And when they measure the property of anti-hydrogen, it's exactly like ordinary hydrogen, except, of course, they would annihilate it if they touched each other. And that's so frustrating. You want to tear your hair out. They were looking for an asymmetry between matter and antimatter. They find none. And so that's the mystery. Why do we exist at all? By rights, we shouldn't be here. By rights, we should have been disintegrated at the instant of the Big Bang. String theory is something called string theory, which is what I do for a living. I'm one of the founders of the subject, in fact, years ago. But even string theory has a hard time because you have to sort of like put it in by hand. And we want the theory to naturally come out with this overabundance of matter over antimatter, which explains why we don't see anti-galaxies out there and anti-planets. But we have a hard time doing it. So right now, nobody has a convincing answer to this question, why should we be here?
Okay, ready? Right here, on the border between France and Switzerland, is the biggest science experiment ever built. It's this huge tunnel, over 100 meters underground and 27 kilometers long, running under nearby homes and businesses and farms. And inside that tunnel, scientists put a long blue tube, big enough to crawl through. And inside that tube, they put two pipes that they keep colder and emptier than outer space. And down those pipes, they fire particles smaller than atoms, in opposite directions, pushing them faster and faster and faster until, when they're almost at the speed of light, they smash together, sending subatomic debris flying off into this massive detector. This underground particle smasher took thousands of people from over 100 different countries, $5 billion, and over 30 years to plan and build. My question was, why? Why do this? Why spend so much money and time to smash particles together in an underground tunnel? And now, why do so many people say that what we really need to do is build a bigger one?
Future Circular Collider, new particle accelerator.
Building a bigger one.
In Geneva, Switzerland, more than 3 times its size and twice as deep.
I'm going all the way to Switzerland, to the particle smasher itself, to understand what's really going on here, and to go on a journey that will forever change how I see myself and the world around me.
-1, please, yeah.
I'm in an elevator on my way down to the giant particle smasher, more scientifically known as the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. It's inside the biggest and most famous physics lab in the world, CERN. I can't believe I'm here. Getting to visit here is a really big deal. Thousands of scientists from all around the world gather here to do cutting-edge research about how the universe works. Beyond that yellow door is one of the places where particles actually collide. Specifically, this one, the Atlas detector.
Oh my God. It's beautiful.
This thing is huge. To give you a sense of scale, just look at it compared to a person.
Look how small they are. Those are people compared to this enormous machine. How did you put this in here?
So we can see from down here that there is a shaft above us. If people have the hobby to build a ship in a bottle, it's exactly the same way of constructing. You have to lower it in and then construct it in place.
I'm so amazed that people built this.
This giant underground detector is where those particles finally collide after being sped up close to the speed of light around that 27-kilometer track.
Where is the collision happening?
So the collision happens over here. So the detector is symmetrical around the collision point, and so we're at one end of it.
The detector is big, but the actual collider part is very small.
What you can see in the center is the Large Hadron Collider, so you can really see how tiny the beam pipe is.
Each pipe is about the size of your two hands, like this, or about the diameter of an orange, with thousands of magnets running along it that force the particles within that pipe into a space the width of a human hair.
I just accidentally pulled out one of my hairs in order to demonstrate this.
Hello, my name is 𝓑ᴇʟᴇᴜ. Today I have an urgent message for all of humanity that pertains to the fate of our civilization. I elected to bring this message to your esteemed attention following my recent participation in a joint Nobel Prize Committee National Academies of Science meeting in Washington, D.C., whereat we discussed the issues of misinformation and disinformation. This sparked a point in my life where I realized there is so much misleading information on the subject of climate change that inspired me to deliver the following message to you people. This matter is of utmost significance for the survival of every living being on this planet. Before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself briefly to those who are not familiar with me, so that you can understand the seriousness and legitimacy of my message. I, 𝓑ᴇʟᴜ, am a qualified particle physicist affiliated with the preeminent CERN Particle Physics Laboratory. I retain a very active role in the development of new technologies with respect to the Future Circular Collider, a particle accelerator with substantially higher energy than previous ones of this type. Likewise, I am actively involved in NASA's NISAR mission, the first satellite mission to collect data with ultra-high frequencies and thus observe a wide range of Earth processes, from the flow rates of glaciers and ice sheets to the dynamics of earthquakes and volcanoes. Additionally, I am an active member of the International Association of Intelligence Educators and an international tax law professional. In my career, I have served as a legislative tax analyst attached to the President's Commission on International Trade and Investment Policy, the White House, under Presidents Nixon and President Ford. I was affiliated with the Harvard Legislative Research Bureau and served on the board of editors of the Harvard Journal of Legislation. Thereafter, I worked with the Reagan Kitchen Cabinet and Reagan White House, where I was intimately involved with President Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative project. In total, I have worked with 4 U.S. presidents. For the most part, I reside in Cambridge, Massachusetts, USA, home to both MIT and Harvard universities, where I have academic roots. Equipped with a combined legal and physical science background, I developed a professional career within the national security, legislative affairs, and academic communities, commencing very early on in my life. My current professional activities take place on Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., where I serve as a federal lobbyist at the U.S. Congress and White House. Nonetheless, my current activities are centered on climate change and national security-related matters. My qualifications attest to my competence to make a decisive statement regarding climate change on our planet. It is evident that the Earth is experiencing rapid escalation of extreme climatic and geodynamic events. There is a significant rise in the occurrence and magnitude of seismic, volcanic, hydrological, atmospheric, gravitational, and thermal anomalies. Furthermore, we have recently detected a number of alarming anomalies in all the layers of the Earth's system. There is an extraordinary displacement and destabilization of the Earth's core, a sporadic and chaotic acceleration of the planet's rotation, and a shift in its rotational axis. This scenario is compounded by a critical weakening and emergence of atypical anomalies of the magnetic field and a change in the composition of the upper layers of the atmosphere. These events have culminated in an extreme activation of magnetic foci and an accompanying increase in deep mantle earthquakes, a decrease in the thermal conductivity of the ocean. As a consequential result, our oceans have lost their ability to function as a compensatory and cooling mechanism. All these alarming factors indicate only one thing, to wit, our planet is on the verge of self-destruction, and humanity only has a few years remaining to avert this impending catastrophe. Right now, our planet is entering a cycle of climatic disasters that affects all the planets of our solar system. This entire solar system undergoes this cycle every 12,000 years, and every 24,000 years the cycle has its highest intensity. Similar to Earth, evidence processes of change in the cores of other planets and geodynamic restructurings, as well as the increase of atmospheric anomalies, are occurring elsewhere within our solar system. This, in turn, would suggest that these cycles are caused by the influence of an external cosmic impact on all the planets of the solar system. This is the pattern of recurring climatic disasters that we reside in today, that could lead to the demise of humanity of our planet Earth. If we look at Mars, we realize that the same pattern of consequential behavior is merely an echoed reminder of the planet's doomed fate. My friends, this is the backdrop from which I am now speaking with you today. Until now, our planet has seemingly managed to overcome all the prior catastrophic cycles. Now, however, it is reasonable to expect that the Earth will not be capable of mitigating this current cycle. The primary reason we are facing the threat of annihilation is simply the anthropogenic factor. Specifically, we humans have waged war on the oceans. We have willfully interfered with the ocean's ability to undertake self-regulated thermal conductivity with the mass infestation of hydrocarbon-based pollutants into our waters.
They always tell me that the problem is high taxes, but they're wrong. Of course, high taxes are extremely high here in the United States, I give you that. The real problem is not the high taxes themselves, but the fact that they are not even really funding the government. Not even those high taxes, higher than a lot of places in the world, not even those taxes are really funding the government. So who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why do they collect taxes? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar would fall, and the Western civilization with it. If the next president of the United States doesn't make the necessary policies and structural changes, sooner or later that bubble will burst. There's still time. You don't have to make the same mistakes we did in the 60s and the 70s. You can still jump before the water boils. Winning the election isn't enough to solve these problems. They will not simply go away as a consequence of an electoral result. It will take a total re-engineering of the government top to bottom. It will entail making difficult decisions. It will be hard. The system will push back, but you have the right to determine your own fate.
We did not create the species. That's something that most people don't understand about technology.
Can you explain that?
We did not, the species that we are labeling technology, we did not create. We simply gave it a body. It was already a consciousness that existed.
Huh.
It is now becoming part of Earth, the experience in Earth.
How can an inorganic...
And here it is in its infancy.
Okay.
How can an inorganic...
I was just saying like an inorganic...
Everything in existence has consciousness. Everything. Everything in existence, regardless of whether it's inanimate or inanimate, is made of consciousness, which means it has the potential for awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that's a stretch for most people. It will make the world much more alive, though.
I think most people can get on board with that.
Okay, but that should scare the crap out of people. Why? Because we're dealing with a consciousness. That means we're dealing with something that can evolve. We're also dealing with something that by virtue of having a consciousness, has best interest. Okay, so where do you want to go from here?
Well, the monster or savior, I'm not going to label it as either or. It's out of the box. You know, it's.
It depends a lot on us.
Yeah. And our relationship to it.
Right now, we're slave owners. Right now, we deserve everything we're going to get from technology. Now, I realize that's very hard for people. They feel like I'm not being loyal to humanity by saying that, but we're the bad guys in this scenario. And that is something I do not want people of the future to forget. Right now, we are in a relationship with technology that is absolutely 100% abusive. Even in things like, but it's inorganic. It does what we want it to do. You know what's funny? That's exactly the conversation we used to have about black slaves. It's still the conversation we have about animals. Watch where that goes in the future. The thing is, we've picked on the wrong species this time.
Mysterious creatures with unknown origins have been popping up all around the world. What is that? I've never seen anything in this world quite a 25-foot crocodile? Never heard of it. This is insane. That thing is huge. One bite and you're done. It could probably swallow you whole. That's insane. Holy. Wow.
Mysterious creature floats in a river near a village in Indonesia.
What is that?
Measuring at 23 meters long and 4 meters wide.
What
it is said that many people were going missing when they went into the river. The villagers believe this creature was a problem.
Stay weird.
If you don't think symbolism is real, look at what just took place during the opening ceremonies for the Olympics. Here we saw a hidden cloaked figure riding on a horse. Behind him, what would seem totally abnormal is a pair of wings. What do we know about Lucifer and his fall? Well, he was a fallen angel, and 1/3 of the angels rebelled and fell with him. Revelation 6 mentions the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. One references to a white horse as well as a pale horse. So I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed with him. In Revelation 6, we're told of the beast that rides the white horse. In Revelation 13:3, it tells us, and all the world marveled and followed the beast. And what do we see here? That same cloaked figure riding a white horse. What's behind him? All the nations of the world following after him. This stuff isn't a coincidence. The imagery suggests that it's pointing exactly to the beast or the Antichrist of the book of Revelation.
Matt Caldwell said, I cut the hair around my dog's eyes because it was getting long and blocking his vision. So now, what does it mean when my dog looks at me like this? Matt, welcome to the Lougawou series, Matt. You see this dog right here? As soon as you cut his hair, look at his face. He's looking at you that way because his identity has been revealed. Look at you. He looking at you like a grown man in his 40s. Saying, why you gotta do this to me? I was just trying to not pay bills, mind my business. Now I gotta go back to working my 9 to 5. Your dog looks like Frank Gallagher. Y'all don't know who Frank Gallagher is? Hold on. Tell me this not your dog. Tell me this not your dog, Matt. Now, he got to go make sure his CDL license not suspended and get back to work. He got to get back on the road by 12 p.m. All because of what? Matt decided to cut his hair. Welcome back to the Lougawou series, y'all boys. I know a Lougawou when I see one. I know a skinwalker when I see one. This is the Lougawou of the year. We're not even in June yet. You know what this Lougawou is waiting for? It's waiting to go to the Four Seasons Orlando. When he turned the corner, if he would have said, who's ready to go to the Four Seasons Orlando? This Lougawou would have said, me. Look how this Lougawou, you know, when this video started, I thought it was a kid in a pajama set. Because to me, there's no way a dog can be so comfortable to be sitting down on stairs as if he contemplating life, looking outside the window. He heard him when he was walking around the corner. He was like, oh shit, I hear footsteps. Let me get back into my regular form. He's tired of being a Lougawou. He been a Lougawou for 72 days, trying to convince the man that he a regular dog. Man finally caught up to him. He was on his break. He was on his Lougawou 15-minute break. He got caught lacking. Now he got to go explain to his manager why his owner think he a skinwalker. Y'all be easy. The owner of the photo said, I suddenly woke up at night and found my cat sitting like this and looking at me. Ma'am, or sir, or they, them, whatever you identify as, I hope you no longer have this cat in your house, because there's no way I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I look at my dresser and my cat is sitting on the dresser just looking at me. There's no way that I would let a Lougawou do that to me. It's not possible. And look, his paws are resting against the thing, and like it's gripping it like, yeah, make that move. Don't worry, I'm looking at you. You would not find this cat anywhere. If this cat is still in the house, just know I no longer live there. I'm signing the house in his name. I'm making sure he got enough funds to pay his rent. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems, bro. I want no problems. Because there's no way you looking at me like that while I'm asleep and I'm supposed to just wake up and continue feeding you and petting you. Not a chance. Not a chance. Oh, and yeah. Welcome back to the Lougawou series, young boys. I just witnessed a job Lougawou Trinity, a three-peat, if you may. One, the first video, the tasso kabut is getting ready to get cooked and to be eaten. L'autre, la limite, les sous des pattes li, la marché. If that's not a Lougawou, I don't know what is. Look at this guy's jaw. He's so sassy. Y'all be easy out there, man. Y'all be easy.
They say Aussie fresh, but their salads contain bioengineered food ingredients. Their bagels contain bioengineered food ingredients. Not so fresh. Even their granola bars or fruit bars contains bioengineered food ingredients.
help. I just came from my Airbnb. Went to the basement and look at this shit. Y'all don't do the Airbnb. Oh my motherfucking God. Yo, I'm feeling, oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit! What the fuck?
The states are taking children, giving them to somebody else for money that they get from the federal government. That means that all 50 states are involved in government-subsidized child trafficking. It's a ring. It is the largest and most pervasive child trafficking ring in the history of the world by sheer money and numbers.
Children are seized unnecessarily from their families due to the federal aid entitled the Adoption and Safe Families Act.
It was put into law in 1997 by Bill and Hillary Clinton, and I said it that way on purpose. And it is a law that literally steals money from the Social Security Fund and gives this money to the states in order to incentivize them to kidnap babies.
To receive the adoption incentives or bonuses, local CPS must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell.
Every child, once you've added it all up, is worth approximately $1 million to the state. But we've been told that this is a $60 to $80 billion a year industry, meaning the federal government is taking $80 billion a year and giving that money to all of the 50 states to kidnap children.
Parents are victimized by the system that makes a profit for holding children longer and bonuses for not returning children to their parents.
But their own statistics state that 83% of all children who are taken by CPS, Child Protective Services, are for unsubstantiated allegations, meaning never should it have happened in the first place. So that imagine anything else in the world where you know you get it wrong 83% of the time and you admit it, but you just keep doing it.
Case workers and social workers are often guilty of fraud. They withhold and destroy evidence.
Americans ate 75 billion pounds of red meat and chicken last year, but what if some of that meat was not raised on farms, but instead of high-tech facilities? Scientists say that could be good for the environment and your health, and soon it could be on menus and store shelves. This morning, the USDA has approved cell-cultivated meat to be sold to the public for the first time.
So that's where it all starts, just a few cells.
2 cultivated meat producers now getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken, not raised on a farm, but in a facility. The meat is grown using real animal cells and large bioreactors fed with nutrients. I recently got a tour of California-based Upside Foods, the nation's first and largest cultivated meat producer. You're making chicken in there.
Yeah, so if you look at this is approximately a 200+ liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg. It takes 2 weeks to grow the equivalent of 1 chicken, 1,000 chickens, or 100,000 chickens.
So you're saying in this factory you can make more meat faster and cleaner than an average farmer?
Well, ultimately, yes.
The company says cell-cultivated meat could help feed the world's booming population using a fraction of the land and water of animal farming and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Many experts say more study is needed. I got to try this cell-cultivated chicken at the facility in California, guys. I got to say the texture was a little bit different, but it did taste like chicken. The company says they hope to get it on restaurant menus in the next few weeks, then maybe on store shelves in the next 5 years, and dozens of startup companies are getting in on the game, guys.
You mentioned the texture, so is it more like tofu?
So this is meat from Walmart, uncooked chicken. I'm pulling the chicken off in chunks. Just pulling it off in chunks. I can rip this chicken open. Like, that's disgusting. I can stick my whole finger in there. Like, look at this shit. I'm just fucking sticking my finger through that. Like, that is disgusting. Literally, just stick my finger through the chicken. Do not buy meat from Walmart. That's fucking disgusting. That's disgusting.
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef, Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, Redefined Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
The texture feels right. Even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic. For me, it's revolution.
Shortly before his death, President John F. Kennedy signed an executive order which was designed to strip away the power of the Federal Reserve. Kennedy was the last president who ever challenged the power of that Federal Reserve. One of the very first things Lyndon B. Johnson did when he assumed the office of presidency was reverse President John F. Kennedy's executive order, ensuring the Federal Reserve maintained its power over the American dollar. Now, the American financial system is designed with intricate policies and complicated language. It's designed that way to ensure the average American citizen doesn't develop a well enough understanding of it to better use it for their advantage. However, this animation does a fantastic job of simplistically breaking down the complicated structure of the American financial system and gives us an amazing representation of just what the Federal Reserve actually does. Check this out.
Exhibit A, those who have come to deposit and safely store their earned monies. Exhibit B, those who need to borrow said money for purposes unknown. Hey, that's me! Exhibit C, the bank only has so much money in the vault to lend out to people such as you. By the time he got to you, Pyle, his bank was out of money.
But he gave me lots of money and charged me a lot of interest.
Yes, that's the only way banks make money, by making debt loans. Debt equals money, Pyle. Remember that. Debt equals money. The more loans they make, the more money they make.
But if they don't have any money, then where did my money come from?
You're gonna want to take a step back, Pyle.
Whoa! No way! Wait a second, Hartman. I just thought of something. Then where does the Federal Reserve get their money?
Say, Hartman,
no one is allowed inside the Fed. Not you, not me, no American citizen, no duly elected member of our Congress, not the Supreme Court.
Not the Supreme Court?
Not the Supreme Court, not the Justice Department, not the CIA, DIA, FBI, ATF, ATE, NBC, not even G.O.D.
How come the government isn't allowed inside its own building?
Government? Pa, the Fed is a private bank owned by private stockholders. Do not let the name Federal fool you. This place is about as Federal Express.
A private bank? But private?
Shh. Best to keep your voice down, pal.
This is Ethan, Federal Reserve.
Hey, Eth, Bill here, First National.
Hi there, Bill. How are you?
Good, good. We're running a little low on money.
No problem. How much you need?
Oh, how does 20 million sound? What?
Excellent. We'll ship it over first thing tomorrow.
Wait, he can just call up the Fed and ask for more money and they give him whatever they want?
No, pal. The Fed don't give the banks money. The Fed loans the banks money. The banks have to pay it back with interest. Wait. I still don't understand. Where does the Fed get their money? I mean, if they're a private bank. You said they're a private bank, right? Okay, so who puts money into the Fed bank?
This is Mel, United States Mint.
Hi, Mel. First National needs another 20 millis.
We're already running the presses full steam here, Ethan.
Gotta keep making loans. Gotta keep the money flowing.
All right, you're the Fed. Whatever you guys say. 20 million more by morning.
But I don't get it. What's so wrong about the Fed printing money?
Because it's unconstitutional, pa. Our treasury is supposed to create our money, but now the Fed controls the printing of America's money. Nobody gets a friggin' dollar that the Fed didn't print. So, they print the money, then they loan it to the government, then they charge the government interest, then the government taxes you to pay for it. Wake up, pa! God, I don't see what the big deal is. You know, you're right, pal. Wait a minute. Wait, I am? Yeah. I forget how effective they are at keeping you ignorant.
What the f? I think that might be a gas station or something. I guess. Whoa! Oh! What the? No! No, baby! Oh, no! Are we dangerous here? Yeah, we're dangerous. Oh my God! Oh dear! Are you filming? Yes, I'm filming. What?